Hi everybody, today I'm going to do a video of why the so-called sanitary napkins are unsanitary, why they keep you wet, why you're having all the health issues that you're having, and then we're going to talk about an alternative, the Cherish Maxi Pad. And I'm going to make this video very, very quickly, okay? Now, first of all, they call this a sanitary napkin. Isn't this called a sanitary napkin? But what's so sanitary about this? Now, have you ever put this in your purse and this happens? Pen goes in there. Then you got a pencil and probably a piece of candy. All that stops, and this candy is actually wrapped, but I've had it where pieces of candy go in there. And where's my piece of, and then you have some, here we go. You have some money, and all that goes in here. Then we get into a public place. What do? This is all bounced out. So we have all this dirt and debris. And we put it on. Now, was that sanitary? Absolutely not. So first we've established this is a very unsanitary pad. Now, many of you are having problems, and you could just Google harmful effects of Maxi pads. You're having yeast infections, endometriosis, bacteria infections, and it gets worse and worse all the way until ovarian cancer, where first they start off giving you drugs, and then to top it off, you end up with a partial or full hysterectomy. So, this top layer, a lot of you are wondering, why are you so raw? Well, this top layer is actually plastic. If you, and you don't have to take my word, go get your own Maxi pad and do this. If you go like this, it causes friction. Now, here's your vagina. Imagine your vagina 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're walking. Of course, at the end of 7 to 10 days, you're wondering why your vagina is raw because of this, okay? Because it's plastic. It's not cotton. I've took one Maxi pad, and I thought this was the one I destroyed. Okay, we're just going to destroy this. It's not. And I personally looked up the top of this one, and it is plastic. And I wish we had smell-o-vision, because for added measure, so you don't smell, they added perfume. So, which is crazy. It's sort of like if you're funky, you wouldn't just take hairspray, not hairspray, you wouldn't take perfume and go, oh, I'm funky. Instead of taking a shower or a deodorizer, you're just going to perfume all over to hide the funk. Well, that's what they did. So they doused perfume all over here. So when your body is 98.5 degrees and coming out is a little bit of blood, you have bodily fluids and urine on top of a layer of plastic and perfume. That's a recipe for a toxic environment. What does this look like? Looks like a shoe insole, doesn't it? When this particular brand, I looked it up, it's the same plastic made in Crocs shoes. Yes. And for added measure, they wanted to make sure you didn't mess up your pretty panties. So the back of this is more plastic. So I'm not a scientist, but I do know my vagina should not be on 3 layers of plastic 24 hours a day for an entire week. I just know that, okay? So we've established that. And again, that's why a lot of you are wondering, why am I so raw? Why do I have yeast infections, bacteria infections, endometriosis? And it gets worse because it causes what's called a dioxin, which is toxins. Now, again, I'm not going to make any medical claims. Just do your research. Research harmful effects of Maxi pads and what are dioxins. Now, you're like, what is the alternative? Because I said this is going to be a real short video. Is Cherish Maxi pads. And make sure you write this down. To buy these, just go to join10ortiz.com. Now, we established how these were unsanitary. Well, this company knows that women will be throwing them in their purse. This is sealed, this is sealed, this is sealed. Yes. So we're not going to have any pencils or candy or money sliding in the pad. Now, unlike the other one, oh, and I have to tell you, if you look at the glue that binds all this, it's industrial strength glue. Again, do you think plastic and plastic And the dye, I forgot to mention a dye. You see all this purple? That's dye. Purple dye. So now we have plastic purple dye and perfume sitting on your vagina. Now, most of you, 99% of you, wear cotton underwear. Top layer is cotton. And wouldn't you rather be on cotton? That's why on this pad, you don't feel raw because you're on cotton. 7 days a week, 7 to 10 days cotton. You're like, what is this? This is not dye. And this is an all-natural food-grade algae strip. And it's infused with negative ions. The example is, you know those magnetics? People have carpal tunnel. I can't tell you scientific behind it, but I know it works where they have the magnetic strips and they put it on their wrist and it feels good. Sort of like that's how this works. With the negative, it's infused with negative ions. What is negative ions? When you go into the sea, to the ocean, you take a deep breath and you feel good. Or the salt lamps. There's salt lamps and you plug it in and it turns the negative ions into positive ions and you feel better. That's what this is, okay? So it's infused with negative ions, and this is food grade glue. Our backing, again, this is cotton, and it's permeable, which means your vagina can breathe. It's food grade glue, and it's permeable. So we have cotton. Now, what soaks all the moisture through, and this is probably 10 to 20 times more absorbent than this pad. All right, so you know the polymer that's in a baby's diaper. Okay, a baby pees and it sucks all the fluid and gets bigger. They have a thin layer of that, which means when the blood comes down, it sucks it down. Okay, so that it's not all, and I'm getting ready to do the demonstration in a moment. Well, you'll see how this is 10 times better than a leading brand. Now, I'm going to tell you my experience on the Cherish pads. So I'm 44 years old. I've been having a I've been having a period for the last 33 years. 33 years, I've been having a period. And so it was a man, not a woman. It was a man who actually sold me 2 packs of Maxi pads. I used to call them scam pads because I couldn't believe it. Like, there's lots of YouTube videos about these pads. I could not believe it. So it's 4 in the morning, had some choices. I could have either I could have took some out of LPM, or B, use this pad. I decided to use the pad. Got in bed, put it on. Within 15-20 minutes, bam, my cramps went away. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Could not believe that the cramps went away. Like, I just could not believe it. So I let the cat out. My cat cried. That's why I woke up. And I felt ridiculous. And I said, no, I just did not put a pad on to take away some cramps. So I went and I threw it in the trash. Got back into bed. 30 minutes later, oh, I feel cramps. Oh, let me go get another pad. So I went, got another pad. I put it on. And then at 8 o'clock in the morning, I called the gentleman up that sold me the pads. And was like, dude, I don't know how much it costs to get in this business. By the way, it's only $35 for the entire year to do this business. If you want to get into this as a business, I'll put my phone number down here. You can write it down, 240-293-0042. Send me a text or call me, 240-293-0042. Now, I said, look, dude, I don't know how much it costs to get in this business. Anytime you have a pad, now my period had not even been on. Anytime you have a pad to take away some cramps, sign me up. A couple days later, now my period lasts 7 to 10 days. I've been having a period for 33 years. A couple of days later, my period came on. First day was light, third day was heavy. Now this is so thin, the day it was heavy, I had to keep looking like every other hour because I didn't trust it. It felt like I was wearing a panty liner. The third day, whoosh, heavy. Fourth day, no period. So you know how, ladies, your period comes on, then it stops. So the 5th day, put another pad on. And by the 6th day, I was upset. I wasted 2 perfectly good Cherish pads because I had only had a 3-day period. So initially, I started marketing Cherish pads because it was just, oh, this is my experience. This is a pad, that's been known to take away cramps, no medical claims, and reduce the length of a woman's flow. And that's just my testimonial along with hundreds of others. It got serious when I started getting phone calls where women would say, my periods were so bad that the doctor just wants to do a hysterectomy. My periods were so painful, or I'm having all these problems, constant yeast infections, constant bacterial infections, and the only thing the doctor wants to do is give me a hysterectomy. Or it gets worse. I was getting phone calls when I first started doing these videos where women would say, my mother has ovarian cancer, or I have ovarian cancer, or, or the stories just got horrific. And none of the doctors linked anything back to this. That's it. So that's when I knew this was more than a pad that just takes away. Again, I'm not making medical claims. This is my testimony and the testimony of hundreds of women. This is more than a pad that could just relieve cramps and reduce a woman's flow. This could potentially save a woman's life because she's not wearing all the harmful effects of this. Because you have to remember, that's a toxic 98.5 degrees. That's heat. And this, the perfume is crazy. I should just be able to go like this, put some perfume on from this one Maxi pad. But you have plastic and dye and perfume all mixed together. It's a treacherous, really, really, really combination. So now you're like, well, how do I buy the pads? Okay, great. Let's talk about that before we wrap up. The pads, it's Cherish Maxi pads. The pads are only $5 for a pack. I always tell people when you go to the site, buy 4 because it's flat rate. I think it's only like $8 for shipping, but they're $5 a pack. So if you get 4, it's just a flat rate, and that's all over the country. And that's nothing our company is doing. That's from the United Post Office. All right, so it's $5 a pack, and 10 come in a pack. People are like, why so little? Because guess what? You're not going to have to change these like these. Now, before I go, and I'm very aware of the clock. I'm going to do a real quick demonstration, and I'm going to wrap this up real quick. So I'm going to do this real fast. And I actually spilled some water, so I'm going to be fair and pour some of that in here. See, I always tell people I don't like, there's a lot of times people do what I call trickery, and that's why I like to do videos, so there's no craziness. Okay, so, and I did pour some of the water in here because I just spilled a little bit. Okay, so, but I could do that with this one, and this is how I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going real fast. I'm doing the same thing. All right, so, and I poured some of this water in here, as you saw. Now I'm going to do this. And this is the $5 pack of pads. Then you already see the water. Yeah, that's insane. And then you're wondering why you're having to change your pads 6 to 9 times a day. It's because plastic doesn't absorb, people. They did not make this pad to absorb. And I'm going to go like this, probably pour the extra water in. And it's just, whoop, I'm spilling some water. But that's pretty good because it absorbed all its water in the other water. Need to open this joker up. Yep, there you go. So let's see how much water is left. Bam. That's it. That's in a nutshell. So this is super duper duper absorbent. Go to jointanyaortiz.com. They're only $5. If you're looking to do the business, I'll put my number. It's only $35 for the entire year to be a rep. So take care, God bless, and make sure you share this video. All right, bye-bye.